Hello and welcome to Neography A to Z. On this channel, I take an analytical approach to reviewing the functionality of invented writing systems. That is, writing systems that were explicitly created, engineered, or invented for a constructed language, or to be used in place of an already existing system. I also review these systems for their aesthetic appeal in a less analytical way, but relying on decades of in-depth study and work in the field. This episode, we are reviewing the Tahano Hikamu, or round script, used for the conlang Ayeri, created by Karsten Becker, beginning in 2003. I have been familiar with this project almost since its inception, as I've known Karsten for nearly 20 years and have been a long-time admirer of his work. Ayeri, not being from a movie, book, or television show, is not widely known outside of the conlang community, and it is a personal project. So not many folks who don't know Karsten know about the project. On screen is the Ayeri translation of Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which I will attempt to read. Apologies in advance for my pronunciation. Savisayon kenamikan tiganeri ne ketanyeri sino ne kamo ri toretos tenuban ne iprang neyang mya rangkyon setanyas kunetu. The translation, of course, is that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, and they are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Also on the screen is a short sample from the Ayeri grammar. He who cannot write believes it not to be toil. As a quick aside, Karsten made what he calls Tahano, or beautiful script, as an ornamental script, also to be used for Ayeri, but he has since discarded it. This script is by far one of the most beautiful and inventive scripts I have seen in almost 30 years of researching and learning about orthography. Now we'll take a look at functionality. Tahano Hikamu is an abugida, or alpha-syllabary, meaning it is a segmental writing system in which consonant-vowel sequences are written as units. Each unit is based on a consonant letter, and vowel notation is secondary, similar to a diacritical mark. The script is monocameral, that is, there is no distinction between capital and minuscule letters. It is written in lines from left to right, flowing from the top of the page to the bottom. Tahano Hikamu is modeled after and inspired by Brahmi scripts. And to those familiar with Brahmi scripts, that will become increasingly apparent during this review. As with many abugidas, the basic syllable is CV, or consonant vowel, but other considerations must be made for more complex syllables. The methods of writing these secondary and even tertiary phonological aspects are what makes Tahano Hikamu unique among the majority of neographies. On screen to the left, we see the base consonants, and on to the right, we see additional consonants used primarily for non-Ayeri words. The syllabic nature of Tahano Hikamu is apparent in the example on the left of the screen. Pa plus ngis becomes pangis. This demonstrates the ambisyllabic nature of the nga character. Ambisyllabic means that nga can simultaneously act as the coda of one syllable and the onset of the following syllable. On the right, we see ligatures that are prevalent and result in recognizable patterns, even with noticeable changes to each grapheme. Interestingly, the nana ligature actually represents a disyllabic character, a feature not common among the majority of abugidas. The Tahano Hikamu vowels are typically marked above the consonant that precedes them. However, this is the primary slot for the corresponding vowel, and secondary vowels can be marked below or in the secondary slot. So the pa syllable becomes pe with the appropriate diacritic. The independent vowels always appear above the vowel carrier, which has the inherent value of a, which is the most common inherent value across the majority of natural abugidas. There are also corresponding diacritics that are placed below the consonants as mentioned previously. These are used for secondary vowel indication, as can be seen in the ya to ye to yeya example. Secondary vowels very occasionally need to be spelled as independent vowels. For example, when the secondary vowel is long, as can be seen in the ru to roi and the ka to kai examples above. The ka to kai example demonstrates also how a diphthong can be indicated with only one diacritic, even though there are no unique diacritics for the said diphthong. Syllables can also include additional diacritics to mark things such as vowel length, gemination, and syllable codas. Here we see examples of basic syllables as multiple diacritic marks indicate various phonological aspects, thus making the information compact and complex. In the ki to kie example, we see the slot switching, meaning the I or the E diacritic moves from below to above, allowing for the vowel lengthening mark to be placed below the syllable. Secondary articulations such as palatalization, aspiration, and glottalization can be marked by descending diacritics. These include vowel lengthening and cross-syllable palatalization of certain plosive consonants. Further descending diacritics mark a deletion of the inherent vowel a, nasalization, and gemination. These diacritics set Tahano Hikamu in a category of realism apart from most Abugidas and Neographies found in the conlang community. There are also vowel-altering diacritics to indicate diphthongs and raised vowels. These are obligatorily prepended diacritics used for sounds not typically found in Ayeri, except for the lintan kusang, or the double sound. The double sound also marks changes to ya proper when a vowel follows, but it remains a double sound when ya follows. The change in spelling is driven by the semivocalic nature of ya. This is seen in the tipui to tipuya example on screen. The diacritics you're seeing on screen are allographic, meaning that a letter or combination of letters that is one of several ways of representing one phoneme, such as having two P's in the word hopping represent the one phoneme P. The diacritics being varied and duplicated requires the reader closely pay attention to each syllable as written and adds a depth to the orthographical representation of Ayeri not often seen in Neographies. The ability to write non-Ayeri phonemes also demonstrates adaptability and aggregation of linguistic depth. Considerations for stress, syllabification, and vowel length all play a role in diacritic selection and placement. These considerations, while focusing on the basic CV or consonant vowel syllable, often cut across syllables, showing that Ayeri as an abugida is far more than a simple set of CV characters with a few diacritics. Subscript diacritics are placed below the character. Superscript diacritics are placed above. Many of the diacritics in the Tahano Hikamu script can be placed above the syllable and consonant in order to give the author options, most especially if multiple diacritics will be needed. Ayeri uses a duodecimal number system. There are digits for 0, so the system is positional, similar to the system that most viewers are already familiar with. Tahano Hikamu's syllable modifying diacritic inventory is large and intricate, and so is its collection of punctuation. Unique diacritics, like the dangaran for marking names, alleviates confusion and the need for the majuscule-minuscule system. The diacritics extend to numerals as a way to mark decimals and or fractions. Now we'll go over the aesthetics. Clearly drawing inspiration from Southeast Asian and Brahmic scripts, Carsten Becker sought to make a personal artistic language that was both euphonic and visually pleasing. On the left of the screen, we see the first design for an Ayeri script from February of 2004. The image on the right is from over a year later in 2005, which was a first draft for Tahano Hikamu. On the left, we see the book style, which is the most common style used for samples and web posts in Ayeri. On the right, we see the same text in the Angular style, a style that Karsten expressly designed to evoke the Javanese script. Here we have the same text across two samples in the cursive style. Note how different they are and that a few of the diacritics are marked above in one and below in the other. Regardless of the differences, each example exudes style, creativity, and artistry rarely seen in conlang circles. A translation of Silent Night, originally in German, then with English and Ayeri, and written in the Tahano Hikamu script. The compactness of Tahano Hikamu compared to the Latin alphabet is notable. This is common among abugidas, but given the aesthetic appeal of this script, it is quite striking in this example. This black letter style of Tahano Hikamu is my least favorite, but is still admirable as it shows the adaptability of the script to a wide range of writing tools and aesthetics. Kutayang vas, which means thank you in Ayeri. I am reading Ayeri and the Tahano Hikamu script 5 for 5 for functionality and 5 out of 5 for aesthetics. This script is perhaps the pinnacle of mixing creativity and linguistic knowledge. While explicitly based on Brahmic scripts, most apparently Javanese, Tahano Hikamu is more than unique and is very artistic in a way that sets it far and above the average script seen online. The care and attention to detail is admirable and worthy of more than just this silly review. Those are my thoughts on Ayeri and Tahano Hikamu. I'm interested in hearing what you think of the script. Next time we will be discussing Heptapod B from the movie Arrival, so be sure to click the bell button to be notified when the next episode is posted. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I very much appreciate your time and thank you for watching. As a note, all relevant links used in the making of this video are in the description. All information is the property of its creators and is openly available online.